Chapter 4 had one of the best starting seasons in Fortnite history, but recently that changed. The game is not only plagued by unexplainable bugs and issues, but they started removing items that all of us really enjoyed. First it was hurdling, then it was the Deku Mythic, and finally, the Shockwave Hammers. So why is this happening? Well, every single year, Epic has a 2-week vacation at the end of the holidays. This is usually right before Christmas and leads into New Year's. And of course, this is valid and completely acceptable. We want our game developers and game designers and everyone who works in the gaming industry to have their breaks. The only problem is that every single time they do, we're left with 2 weeks worth of a super buggy game. Mantling can cause you to fly, literally out of nowhere. You could be running and mantle on something and you go thousands of meters in the other direction and you die. Weapons such as shotguns are hitting blank shots, and literally so much more. Now, from the player's perspective, this is really annoying to deal with. However, it is temporary. Epic will come back after 2 weeks and there will be fixes, right? Well, it's actually not the case. Now, hurdling was removed because of some issues that people were having where they would use the hurdling feature and actually end up dying for unknown reasons that weren't explained other than it was buggy. And unfortunately, even after they removed hurdling, it is still occurring to this day. It's just not as extreme. So I think that Epic removing hurdling wasn't a bad idea, but at the same time, when is it coming back? Why was the Deku Mythic removed from the game, and literally 3 days after it was released? Well, players were able to use the Mythic to push themselves thousands of meters in the other direction. This could be done to teammates, enemies, just anybody who was on a dirt bike. It can cause for some insane rotations and clip opportunities. And unfortunately, after the Deku Mythic was removed, it was never put back in the game. And then there's the Shockwave Hammer, which has a lot of depth to go into it. The hammer by far is one of the best mobility items we've had since the Spider-Man Mythic, but it still has its problems. Initially, players were able to export the hammer by using it in build mode. And you may be wondering, what could people do in build mode? Well, the hammer was actually able at one point to hit people through builds. Fortnite ended up taking that out, I think silently, but that's not what I'm talking about. Competitive players specifically were able to find a way to smack the hammer down and instantly build directly after. Now, Epic fixed this by adding a short delay after you smack your hammer down, which is extremely annoying, by the way. But of course, the competitive players don't stop there. They find a way to counteract this. So now when players use the hammer, they instantly drop it and pick it back up to build again. But again, this is a minor issue because it is actually really hard to master this. And you have to be quite a good player to actually get this done. So I don't think this is the reason that the hammer was removed. Then we find that the hammer was actually paired with an augment that gave you balloons. Now, the balloons perk to some people may be completely useless, and to me, it is completely useless, except when you're using the hammer. If you use the hammer before you go up in the air with your balloons, you can actually cause yourself to negate fall damage when you stop using the balloons. This is very interesting because people were able to go as high as they wanted and stay up there until they were either broken down or went down on their own, and they didn't take fall damage. Most of them stayed there until the final circle and ended up winning the game. Again, this is kind of minor because there are players that will be able to kill you out of the sky, so it's not that big a deal. But I think I found the real reason that the Shockwave Hammer was removed, and that's when the dub comes into play. Now, the dub shotgun is a shotgun that gives you a shockwave effect when you shoot it and propels you backwards. Now, this is important because players figured out a way to use this shotgun to cause themselves to go literally thousands of meters into the sky. Now, you needed a very specific perk for this to work. And if you didn't have that perk, you weren't going to be able to do this exploit every single game. But when you did get the perk and the situation was correct and everything fell into place, this was absolutely broken. Countless people did this. Hey, it's future editing BBelle here. I just found out that there's an infinite hammer glitch, and that is 100% concrete reason that Fortnite took out the Shockwave Hammer, and I just wanted to let you guys know. But the problem is, we really have nothing to look forward to in this season now. I'm not upset that Epic is removing things. I highly agree that Epic needs to remove things if there's issues with them. I mean, I don't want to play in a game that has bugs and issues all the time. But I think that they need to be brought back in a timely manner. For example, Epic removed sand tunneling a while back in Chapter 2, and they brought it back that season, but it was removed right after. And I feel like this is a reoccurring issue with items and abilities that Epic add to the game. I miss hurdling. Hurdling was so much fun, and it's gone. And they haven't brought it back, and the season has been going on for over a month, and we haven't received any updates on hurdling or when it'll be back. The game's initial wow factor and abilities that were making it feel like we were having a ton of fun is now completely gone. And I really feel like we're back in chapter 2 where no updates were given to us at all. And by the way, all of these minor updates that Epic did with adding the heavy shotgun during their break is accepted and warranted, and I'm really expecting some cool things to happen tomorrow. Hopefully they bring back some more things in this new update, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and make sure to subscribe for some more Fortnite content. I appreciate it.